conversation with their coaches instead of you doing it for them. Giving teenagers the confidence and conviction to speak up for themselves is one of the greatest benefits of participating in high school sports. Number 6, focus on the life lessons your children are learning, not on win-loss records or how many points they're scoring. According to the NC2A, only about 2% of all high school athletes win a sports scholarship, and the average value of it is less than $11,000. But every child will benefit from the lessons they've learned as a result of participating in high school sports for the rest of their lives. It's difficult being the parent of a high school athlete. There's far more emotion and social pressure involved than is ideal. But if you follow these 6 pointers, not only will your children love and respect you, but so will their teammates and coaches. And you might even be named MVP. Thank you for your support of high school athletics in Indiana. Stay tuned now. The Indiana SRN game is next. Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
Hey, well, good evening. Welcome to Delta High School for Friday Night Football. And boy, do we have a good one for you tonight. Good evening, everybody. I'm Bill Ludlow, along with my colleague, Kurt Darling. Tonight, we've got the number 1 Mount Vernon Marauders on the road taking on the Delta Eagles. Mount Vernon coming in with a record of 4-0 and Delta with a record of 3-0. Kurt, this is a very important Hoosier Heritage Conference game tonight.
Well, yeah, both of these teams are 2-0 in the conference coming into this contest. So this game right now decides who's going to be the front runner in the conference going forward, because you got these only 2 teams along with Pendleton Heights in the HHC that are 2-0, and depending on how Pendleton Heights does tonight, we'll see how that goes. But bottom line is this: you have a shot at taking the outright lead in the Hoosier Heritage Conference going in here and just about halfway through the season as well. So, and of course, you want to get as much of a foothold as you can going forward, especially given the rest of the schedule that both the Delta Eagles as well as Mount Vernon has yet to go through.
You know, and you look at what Mount Vernon did last week, beating New Palestine 35-22, handing them their first loss in like 64 or 65 straight games.
Exactly, and that of course, we were talking with Coach Kirshner before the game, and he says they always experience something what's called the New Pal hangover. Yes. And of course, and those are his words.
Yes,
but that's exactly how he puts it. But it's a unique situation this time around, because normally, when you're talking about New Pal, normally 9 times out of 10, you're talking, or 65 out of 66 times, you're talking about them coming away with a victory.
Yeah.
Well,
a big victory on top of that.
A big victory, of course, and of course, New Palestine, they beat Mount Vernon last year 44-7, the final score in that one almost a year ago to the day. But bottom line is, normally they're going into their next game after that feeling demoralized, feeling defeated. After all, you just got your butt handed to you by New Palestine. It's the other way around this time. They come into their next game having beaten New Pal, and now it's one of those things where you are having the similar sensation, but in the opposite direction. And Coach Kirshner was very wary about that going into this game, especially since they haven't exactly had the best of series when it comes to playing Delta over last. But still, they've split the series over the last 6 games 3-3. But still, he was not exactly very. He expressed a lot of wariness coming into this game, but still, obviously, very confident as well as Coach Mike Kirshner.
You know, and what Mount Vernon's doing now is they're coming in. They've got a target on their back, you know, where they didn't have that before. Mm-hmm. And now teams are like, okay, we're after you now.
Of course.
You know, and you know, they not only have Delta tonight, who they got next week? Pendleton Heights. Who's Pendleton Heights playing tonight? New Palestine.
Exactly.
So we'll see what happens.
Well, and that's what you see with all of these teams here, centralized here on the east side of Indianapolis, Upper East Side and stuff like that. They all know each other very, very well. And it's a big game for Pendleton Heights, even though it is a conference game for Pendleton Heights there. So they have a chance to as well try to keep pace with Mount Vernon if they're able to get that win tonight. And then you have another tie again, but this time it's down to only 2 teams instead of 3. But nevertheless, like we said before, any win that you can get right now at this point of the season, especially in the pursuit of that outright conference championship, you'll take what you can get. But you're really hoping, if you're Mount Vernon, that Pendleton Heights gets a little bit of an angry New Palestine team tonight, especially after they came off of that loss to the Marauders a week ago. Right.
And who would have thought, you know, several months ago that we'd be halfway through the high school football season, you know, with the way the virus, when it hit, everything was shut down. People are saying you're not going to play football. We're halfway through the season, Kurt. It's got to be fantastic for the fans and for the players.
Well, for these teams, they're halfway through the season. Keep in mind, there's many other teams that are out there that have struggled to actually get their seasons off and running. Case in point, our colleague Steve McClure calling over at Southport right now. Tonight's only their 2nd game of the season because they've had to have so many weeks of quarantining following the protocols whenever they've had a positive test, which, you know, the IHSAA, they've done an amazing job of making sure that these kids are staying safe throughout the season because, I mean, in order to have football, you got to follow the rules.
Exactly.
And so the fact that these 2 teams are on the field here tonight is a testament that both of these programs are doing a good job of making sure that their kids are staying safe, and therefore they're able to field a team here tonight. It should be a good contest.
As, you know, the Delta Eagles make their way onto the football field, you look at what Mount Vernon did last week. Kurt and I already talked about that. They beat New Palestine 35-22. Delta defeated Yorktown last week 14-7. Very close game for Delta.
Well, yeah, and of course, the quarterback Brady Hunt, he called it a dogfight. It was one of those. It was one of those things where it was one of those eye-opening games for Delta, where we're coming into this game. We beat Eastbrook 42-28. Then we completely destroy Shelbyville 68-0.
Right.
Then all of a sudden, it's only a 14-7 ball game where you're actually playing a team where you actually gave you a little bit of a challenge, especially defensively. And Brady Hunt, he's no slouch, averaging he has so far passed for 325 yards this season, but also has over 100 yards and a touchdown carrying the ball. It's a very run-heavy, pass-second type of offense you have here for this Delta squad, and Yorktown was able to actually find an Achilles heel and figure out how to control that. Delta was lucky to come away with a win there out of that one, and now they're going to really be looking for trying to get a good rebound here against the Marauders.
The running back for this Delta ball club is number 27, Javon Whitfield, and he's lit up the numbers there for Delta this year.
Exactly, 41 carries, 229 yards so far, along with 3 touchdowns. But he was a guy that lit up the field last year as a junior. He had just over 600 yards rushing along with 5 touchdowns, but he also was really good at receiving the ball as well.
And with that, we're going to take a break. You're watching IHSAA Football, powered by Indiana SRN.
Hey folks, good to be with you for tonight's game. My name is Andy Simpson, and I'm a licensed IHSAA football official, and welcome to Friday Night Football, powered by Indiana SRN. On behalf of the 340 football officials, the IHSAA, the crew here at Indiana SRN, we hope you enjoyed tonight's game, and more important, don't forget to subscribe to the Indiana SRN YouTube page. As you're watching tonight's contest, I'm going to show you a few of our signals that will help you better understand the information we are trying to convey. Touchdown, Safety. First down. Holding or illegal use of hands. Encroachment, or offsides commonly known. False start or illegal formation on the offense, or a free kick, scrimmage violation. Face mask, intentional grounding, roughing the passer, clipping, illegal shift, illegal motion, illegal block, pass interference by the offense or the defense, delay of game, and the one signal we dislike and you as fans don't like seeing, unsporting. We'd like to thank everyone for tuning in tonight and following us on Indiana SRN. You can also tune in to the Football Weekly Show and Coach's Show every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on IndianaSRN.org. Finally, if you've ever thought about becoming an IHSAA official, www.ihsaa.org and click on the Officials tab or call the IHSAA office at 317-846-6601. Now, sit back and enjoy the game.
Welcome back to Delta High School. Bill Ledlow, along with my colleague tonight, Kurt Darling. Kurt, it's football weather. You know, it's cool. The sun is going down, and, you know, beautiful night, but cool. And this is football weather.
Well, yeah, right now, just looking at the temperature gauge here right now, it's 61 degrees. Now, normally that's actually pretty comfy, but keep in mind we also have a steady breeze here coming from about the northeast or so, coming right into our faces. For those of you watching on our screen here, it's coming right at the camera. So it's going to be going right from right to left here, but it's been stiff, it's been chilly, but it is football weather, Bill Ludlow, and even though it's not fall yet, it's certainly feeling like fall tonight.
You look at what Gary Sluniker did last week against New Pal. He completed 20 passes on 30 attempts for 272 yards, 66%. His average was 13.6. He threw 3 TDs, but he threw 1 pick. And, you know, that's like his third or fourth pick he's had this year. So Gary's got to take care of the ball tonight, but he's got a big, tall receiver that he can go to in 87, Tanner Kozel.
And, of course, he's the big transfer out of Chicago, as we were talking about before the game here, Bill, and the fact that it's just one of those things where you really look for him to try and be that guy to just you can lean on going into this contest. But still, bottom line is he has a bunch of other tools as well. Rylan Cole, he's committed to Indiana State next year, playing some D1 football. He's going to be a good tool as well.
And the ball's teed up. Mount Vernon's kicking off, and the ball's in the air, and it's going back right at the goal line, and it's taken by Trevor Edgerton.
And so that'll bring Edgerton right there to just shy of the 20-yard line. So good field position here for the Mount Vernon defense here. Going to be headed up by Micaiah Richmond as well as Caden Bensheimer, but also Keegan LaBelle. He's going to be one of those guys that's really going to be a difference maker on the defensive end there. He's leading the team in sacks so far this season along with Micaiah Richmond. They're going to get some pressure on Brady Hunt.
Hunt is in the shotgun position right now, starting from their own 16. Airs it out and incomplete. And that pass was intended for Luke Belengi.
And Belengi, he's going to be one of those guys that Brady Hunt tries to lean on tonight as well. He leads the team in catches so far this season along with 126 yards.
And so it'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Delta Eagles. And again, they're starting from their own 16-yard line. Put a man in motion from the left to the right. Hunt takes it, and he's brought down by that Keegan LaBelle.
And you're going to see Keegan LaBelle just, be one of those guys that really hustles in there, kind of like a Bob Sanders for the Colts back when he was healthy. He was one of those guys that will just really try and get in there and really hustle, and that's why he's leading the team in tackles so far this season.
So now it brings up a 3rd down and 8 situation now for the Delta Eagles at their 13-yard line. So a loss on the play. Takes a snap. Hunt back to pass. Airs it out, and it's incomplete, intended for Edgerton.
And good coverage there by Avery Williams there to cover Edgerton, but still that was an errant throw there by Brady Hunt. So the Marauders defense able to get a little lucky there, but still it would have been just fine there as they go 3 and out here on offense due the Delta Eagles.
So, we know that Mount Vernon kicked off, so I'm not sure if they won the toss or if Delta won the toss. So if Mount Vernon won the toss, just like they did last week, they're going to get the ball to start the second half. Here's a snap. Hunt's going to kick it high in the air. Fair catch by Cole.
And you couldn't ask for better field position if you even begged for it there. If your coach Mike Kirshner there, a good catch there, but a wise decision there by Rylan Cole. Not a very long punt, a really high punt, and so that but you're sitting pretty inside your opponent's territory. So that was a good call right there.
So Mount Vernon will take it on Delta's 43-yard line. Here come the Mount Vernon Marauders and their first time on offense tonight. They're going to put the big guy, Quazell, to the left side. Sloniker is in the shotgun, puts Cole in motion from the right to the left.
He's one-on-one coverage.
He's got him throw, and it's complete to Quazell.
Now, that was a really well-executed play right there. They bring Cole in motion right there, and that's going to stave off a little bit of the linebacker pressure, and that puts Quazell basically one-on-one with the linebacker, and the tight end of his size is going to win that battle every time.
So it'll bring up a 2nd down and 6, a pickup of 4 for the Marauders. Again, Sluniker is in the shotgun. LaBelle to his left side. Again, Cole in motion, this time from the left to the right. Hand off to Keegan LaBelle, and he gets it up to about the 35-yard line.
And LaBelle, he's one of these guys just going to do it all here for tonight here for Mount Vernon. He's also accomplished on defense, but still he's one of those go-to guys in the backup role on offense, or one of those second-choice guys whenever you're putting Cole in a specialty play.
Trips receivers to the right side. Eli Bridenthal, the lone receiver, to the left. And now they put Keegan LaBelle to the right side of Sluniker. Takes a snap, and they hand off to LaBelle, and he's stopped in the backfield, and it was stopped by Evan Conley.
Conley, 20 tackles so far this season, along with a sack and a forced fumble. He's going to be one of those stingy guys there from the defensive tackle spot, and just like that there, the Marauders go 3 and out.
So it's kind of like a big boxing match here. The boxers are feeling each other out the first few rounds, and then we'll see what happens.
Number 1 versus number 8, Bill. That's exactly what you're going to see here, either a stalemate or a shootout. Take your pick.
So Joel Ratliff back to take the punt. A high snap, but he gets the kick away, and he's going to put it inside the 20-yard line. So a nice kick there by Joel Ratliff.
And Ratliff just couldn't ask for a better punt right there, but of course there's a flag. It looks like no, that's not a flag. It's just an out-of-bounds marker there. It looked like there might be some laundry there. But either way, you're at the 10-yard line, so you've already won the field advantage battle there. And that comes back to that opening kickoff. The special teams was able to get downfield and really, really help right there, so you've shifted it in your favor, and now Delta has to go 90 yards.
1st and 10 from their own 10-yard line. And they hand off to Whitfield, and he's going to get a first down.
And that time you had Evan Conley, who was the big tackler on defense there. He stepped up on the offensive side and had that really big key block to allow him to go up the middle, and a nice gain for Delta.
A gain of 13 yards, a 1st and 10 at their own 23 are the Delta Eagles. Hunt going to go under center this time. Takes a snap, hands off to Whitfield again. And again, he breaks outside. He's got some running room on that right side and picks up another Delta first down.
So back-to-back first downs. And Javon Whitfield, I mean, that's what you're going to see out of this kid. He's one of those workhorse guys that's really going to try and keep his feet moving. And that's why, even though as a junior he saw limited action, but again managed to get 633 yards of total rushing yards last season, he's well over that pace so far.
1st and 10 for the Eagles. 8:40 to go in the first quarter. Hunt again under center, puts Belingi in motion. Then he hands off, and nice stop there by, they say the ball came out. Mount Vernon say they got it. but the officials say otherwise.
And the official's going to keep it with Delta right now, but still good pressure up the middle there by Jared Williams just to try and recognize the fact that they're going to keep going to their hot hand in Whitfield. And so now they're going to have to try and set something up here as he got 2nd and long.
2nd and 11. Hunt going to go under center again this time. Back to pass. Here's it out. Got his man, and it is incomplete. Wow. Nice coverage there by the defender for Mount Vernon.
Yeah, ball slightly underthrown there by Brady Hunt, but still, the fact of the matter is, Edgerton had his man beat, and that's in a good presence of mind there by Hunt to recognize the one-on-one coverage even before they were able to get that ball snapped. But fortunately, Edgerton had to try and retrace his steps a little bit coming back forward, and that just made it a little bit harder to catch.
That was on the coverage was Avery Williams. It's now 3rd and 11. Hunt back to pass this time. Throws, and it is incomplete, and it was intended for Cody Howard.
Dangerous throw there in double coverage, basically with Jalen Thompson along with Avery Williams on the coverage.
So it'll bring up another punting situation now for Delta. As in the first few plays of that drive, Whitfield was the guy.
Well, you're going to see that all night long. It's just a matter, you just got to keep going to the guy that's going to get it to you, and then once you start picking up on that, you try something new. Just unable to get the passing game going was Delta.
Ready for the snap. Brady Hunt doing the punting. Nice high punt. Gentry bobbled the ball, picks it up off the turf, gets outside, got some running room at the 50, down to the 45, to the 40, stays on his feet at the 15, 20, and finally stays on his feet and gets it all the way down inside the 5-yard line, Kurt.
What a play. Max Hayes along with Rylan Cole with the big blocks there, even in the big swarm. That was a heck of a play as we take a look at the replay right here. It's just quite insane. But you see, check it out right here. You got Rylan Cole running along with them, a big block right there. And then you got to keep everything else going along with them, running along with them there is 32 Keegan LaBelle, just keeping it going. What great special teams organization there to try and make that thing into something even after the bobbled reception.
Then they get it at the Delta 3-yard line. 1st and goal for the Marauders. Sluniker keeps it himself, and he goes in for the touchdown. Gary Sluniker has done that several times this year, Kurt.
And of course, that's just the cleanup play right there. Whenever you get a hot hand like that, you're going to have a lot of players on the defense that are a little winded. So just make it clean and tidy, and Sluniker just dives right in for an easy TD.
A.J. Swingle coming on for the extra point try. 7:30 to go here in the first quarter. Snap, ball's down, kicks in the air, and it is good. So with 7:30 to go, the score, Mount Vernon 7, Delta 0. You're watching IHSAA Football, powered by Indiana SRN.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the Indiana SRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Hey, it's Keith Myers from Indiana Sports Radio Network. Well, thank you that you're watching the game tonight on Indiana SRN. If you would like to know more information about Indiana SRN, send me an email, coach@indianasrn.org. As vice president of this company, we hope that you sit back and enjoy the game. It's Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.indianasrn.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Welcome back to Delta High School. The kickoff by A.J. Swingle went into the end zone as he's done that several times this year.
Well, he also had a little bit of a tailwind helping him out there. Of course, we have that stiff tailwind here coming from about the northeast or so. But still, once again, you're winning the field position. You're winning the field position battle. But now you've really got Coach Overholt going to try and get something going here for the Eagles.
And it looks like Whitfield was on the carry. And he's the workhorse for this Delta ball club. We've mentioned him several times this year, and this game. And, he proves that he can get the job done.
Well, he's hungry, too. He had the ball 14 times given to him last week against Yorktown.
Pass completed from Hunt on the far side.
Let's take a look at that last touchdown here by Sluniker. As you can just see here, like I said, just clean up. You get some good blocking up front, and then Sluniker just does what he does best, just try to be sliver and slink right inside of there.
It was a first down on that last play. Whitfield again, and he gets it out close to the 35-yard line.
And what you're doing here, if you're Delta, you're just trying to establish just a little bit of rhythm, because you're a little bit out of sync, especially a little bit after that demoralizing kick return there from Gentry on that previous possession there. But bottom line, you just got to try and just get some rhythm going, and you got that first completion on that previous play. You just got to keep trying to nickel and dime down the field.
They're at their own 34-yard line. 2nd down and 7, 6:15 to go, first quarter. Hunt back to pass. Airs it out and complete. And ran out of bounds by Williams. And it was Hunt to Edgerton for a Delta first down.
And like I said, they're just going to start trying. They're going to try and do some check down plays and just do some stuff a little bit short here, just to get some rhythm moving. And then you may see him take a shot downfield here. But either way, you're just going to try and get some of that rhythm going.
Hunt hands off to Whitfield, and the Marauder defense was there on that one.
We got to prepare for the run against this team, because you got big guys like Javon Whitfield, but also even guys like Titus Hill and even Luke Belangi going to be getting the call a couple times as well. Obviously, your main back is going to be Whitfield, but you got to prepare for those guys to get the ball as well. So you're prepared for the run if you're this defense.
They go 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Hunt rolls to the right, stops, going to pass, and he is throwing for a big loss.
Taking a shot downfield they were trying to, and of course reading it perfectly was Mekhi Richmond. That's going to be his 5th sack of the season.
So Mekhi Richmond, he is a senior, 5'8", 200 pounds is what they got him listed as.
And you just take a look at this right there. He pretty much went in there untouched.
Yes, he did.
There. He had a little bit of help as well, but just a great presence of mind to find the hole and get to the quarterback and recognize that they were going to try and take a shot downfield right there.
So now it's 3rd and 18. Hunt back to pass. Airs it out, and it is intercepted. And that is George Burheen who intercepted that ball.
Making every use of that 6'4" frame there is Burheen, but also ill-advised throw there. But again, trying to take a shot downfield there was Delta, but just throwing it into double coverage there, looking for Belangi was Brady Hunt, and it wasn't doing it for him right there. But also a good performance there by Burheen to stick with his receiver and keep that going here as you take a look right here.
As he airs it out, and Burheen was all over the receiver.
Just taking a shot downfield. But taking a shot downfield, but also trying to make it so that your receiver could at least have an attempt to try and contend with the ball. But still, you're not contending with much against a 6'4" safety.
1st and 10 now for the Marauders. Sluniker back to pass. Airs it out. Got Gentry, and it's incomplete.
Just a little too much heat there with Edgerton on the coverage. Gentry, he's really showing some stuff here tonight with that big kick return for an almost touchdown there on that previous one, but still good throw there, and he had his man beat. Just had to try and put a little bit more air on that one from Sluniker, and you've got another 6 points.
The one guy that we've not talked about too much right now in this offense is Tanner Kozel.
Of course.
He's kind of quiet right now.
Well, he caught the first pass there from Sluniker on that opening possession, but then you're right there, Bill. Haven't really seen a whole lot of him, but also keep in mind, they're also doing a good job of recognizing that, yeah, he's going to be one of those big threats, and now Sluniker able to make a little bit more use of his other weapons.
But on that play, we had a penalty against Mount Vernon, so that's going to back him up. So I believe it was a holding call on the Marauders. And now we got a penalty flag, and it looks like the Delta defense jumped.
That's going to be an encroachment there, so that'll move them back up 5 yards.
So we'll give you 10, but then we're going to give you 5 back or something like that, you know.
It's a give and take, like you said at the beginning. 2 heavyweight boxers right now. They're going to keep giving and taking a little.
2 receivers left, 2 receivers to the right for the Marauders. Now they put Cozell in motion from the left to the right. And he airs it out, and the ball got tipped, but Gentry caught it and picks up a first down.
And that's the result of the play action right there. You just had a little bit of a jump down. You're looking like you're going to the jet sweep there, but then you're bringing Gentry right there in motion on a flag or on a post route rather, and just right good recognition. One defender got a hand on it, but luckily it ended it up in the hands of Gentry if you're the Marauders. And as you take a look at the replay, yeah, you see they put Cole in motion, and that just opens it up just enough for him to thread that needle.
1st and 10 for the Marauders. Sluniker back to pass, and he was being pressured there by number 63, Isaiah Brewer of Delta.
At that point, right now, this Delta defense is going to just try and get some more pressure on Sluniker because now he's starting to get into a rhythm, and they recognize that. Still, Isaiah Brewer as well as Conley to get in there to try and get a little bit of pressure.
2nd down and 10 now for the Marauders from Delta's 43-yard line. Sluniker tried the hard count, almost got him to jump.
And Kozoil right now just one-on-one with the cornerback right now, but they're going to play some zone on him.
And that's where he's going. And he got it.
And that was a good check down. That was a good audible called there right there by Sluniker because he recognized that they were going to move to a zone defense there on Kozoil, and then that opened it up a little bit. So you check him down a little bit, just try and get a nickel and dime play downfield.
Pick up a 5. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Sluniker in the shotgun. Puts Gentry in motion from the right to the left side.
You got Breidenthal one-on-one down low.
Throws and got it too. Did he? Yes, he.
And he caught it.
He did catch it. Eli Breidenthal.
And there you go. Sluniker recognizing the one-on-one coverage, and Breidenthal standing at 6'2". That's his 6th reception so far this year. He doesn't get a whole lot of them, but he's one of those players that you don't want to leave him too far alone, like you saw on that play right there, because then they'll make you pay and get the first down.
So now they're going to go trip receivers to the left side. It'll be Cole, Gentry, and Breidenthal. Cozell, the only receiver to the right side. Now they put Cole in motion from the left to the right. Hand off to Keegan LaBelle, and he busted right up the middle, close to a first down.
All eyes were on Rylan Cole there from the defense of Delta. And, of course, again, recognizing that, they check it down and move it over to LaBelle, and he just streaks right up forward there and gets a pretty decent gain.
2nd down and about 2. Sluniker, shotgun. LaBelle to his left side. Trip receivers left, 1 to the right. They throw to Gentry, and he picks up the first down.
Of course, that was a design play to go out there to Gentry, but still, it looked really juicy right there having Kozoil go one-on-one into the end zone there on a flag route. Man, he had his man beat. He has a few inches on the coverage there right now over Cody Howard. That would have been a really nice play had Sluniker been able to see that.
Now they go trip receivers to the right. Cozell, the only receiver to the left side for Mount Vernon. Sluniker in the pistol. Takes it. Hands off to LaBelle.
And now you get into your shorter game here a little bit as you get into the move inside the red zone, and you can get the first down here if you're
right.
If without scoring here. You still got about 2 yards to get to the line to gain right there, so you got to keep that in mind here as you're working this red zone offense.
This play coming up is the 9th play of this drive. Sluniker airs it. Oh, lost it, but got it back.
And Rylan Cole, he
wow.
lost the ball there as he ran into the helmet of the defender, and that just was enough to jar it loose a little bit, but luckily it moved in the right direction for him to just fall on top of it.
But for Delta, it moved Mount Vernon back.
And
so now it's 3rd and about 9.
Moving back, though, is kind of a blessing and a curse sometimes. You get a little bit more room to work with as you go with 5 wide receivers here.
Gentry, Cozell, and Cole to the left side. Going to Cozell, got him, and he's going to go in for the touchdown.
Great recognition right there to find Cozell, and of course, when the big man, a big strong guy like that, he's going to be able to just try and do the rest of the work there as you give him a chance to try and get up close to it. Either way, you were either going to get the first down or you get the touchdown. Big play there.
So it's 13-0 Mount Vernon, and Swingle coming on for the extra point try for the Marauders. Looks like Sluniker is the holder, waiting for the snap. Ball's down, kicks in the air, and it is good. So with 1:18 to go, your score, Mount Vernon 14, Delta 0. You're watching IHSAA Football, powered by Indiana SRN.
Your home and office make up a big part of your world. Sometimes trying to manage it all on your own can make you feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. And when the weight of the world is on your shoulders, you need a strong back or two to come to your rescue and haul your stress away. You need the College Hunks. Whether it's time to clear some space for new memories, to reinvent the room around you, or to simply pack up and move into a fresh new beginning, you can count on the Hunks to bear your burden so you don't have to. Let us move you today.
Never miss an upcoming game. Subscribe to YouTube on Indiana SRN. Porter Kurt, and Mount Vernon has built a 14-0 lead over this high-powered offense of Delta.
And, of course, right now Mount Vernon has just done a good job of, like we said, avoiding that new pal hangover. They've been able to get some good execution downfield and just doing what they do and trying to keep Delta here at bay, and they're doing a good job of it right here.
Edgerton got the kickoff. He started up the field, ran into a power wall of Mount Vernon, but he's like a pinball. He bounced around, but they were able to drive him back some more.
And speaking of driving in, though, here we'll take a look at this replay on the previous touchdown to Kozoil. Just looking at it right there, just recognizing the one-on-one coverage, and then too late there came the defender, and he was able to reach right in there for a quick TD there. So Mitchell Whitmer, he had to be a little bit quicker there on that recognition.
And the handoff to Whitfield. As Delta starts on their own 10-yard line. So to bring up a 2nd down and 10 for the Eagles of Delta. As we are now under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Hunt goes under center.
Up top.
Pitches back to Belanger. Belanger cuts it to the outside. A decent little run there by Belanger on the pitch back from Hunt.
Well, that's one thing you're going to see now. Obviously, Javon Whitfield is going to be the big main guy that you're going to see getting most of the touches out of the backfield. But still, one of those things they're going to try and change things up a little bit because they got to try and get some momentum as we're getting close to the end of the first quarter. So they're going to start doing a little bit of uniqueness here as we get down the stretch.
And I think they're just going to maybe let this thing run down as Hunt goes under center. Then he raises back up, and that's going to bring us to a close in the first quarter with the score Mount Vernon 14, Delta 0. You're watching IHSAA Football, powered by Indiana SRN.
How does a good man become even better? By working out? Or by working his way up the corporate ladder? By changing his diet? Or by changing his style? By traveling the world by staying perfectly still. For 300 years, we've helped good men become the best versions of themselves through a dedicated fraternity and by taking an oath to live a life of integrity, service, and brotherly love. Men who are as committed to each other and their families as they are to our noble cause. In the end, we don't just make men better, we make them Masons. Not just a man, a Mason.
Welcome back to Delta High School. Bill Ludlow, along with my colleague Kurt Darling. And boy, we've got a game tonight. You know, you got number 1 Mount Vernon against number 8, I believe, Delta, and it's a 14-0 lead for Mount Vernon. So if there's any hangover, I don't see it yet, Kurt.
Yet.
Yeah.
That's right. That's the big word right there. That's the key word yet. But still, but yes, obviously, if you're Coach Mike Kirshner here for Mount Vernon, you're good with this. You're comfortable with this start, but also you don't want to take your foot off the gas per se, because especially after what we were talking about with him beforehand, he was a little wary coming into this contest. It hadn't exactly been the best of weeks of practice coming into it, and so it's good. So he's definitely at least relieved to see that you get this 14-0 lead, but you got to keep it.
3rd and 8. Hunt goes under center. Back to pass. Throws and complete. Nope, incomplete. Nice coverage there by number 8 for Mount Vernon is Jalen Thomason.
And they were looking for Trevor Edgerton right there and just trying to get the dart. And again, just trying to get the passing game established here is Delta, and they're just not able to get it because right now the defensive backs here for Mount Vernon have just been really, really locked down here on the coverage. Only been able to get a few passes off, has Brady Hunt, but he hasn't been able to get anything downfield.
So it's going to be a 4th down and 8 for Delta. Hunt kicks it, and it comes to Gentry. He tried to tightrope the sideline, Kurt.
Well, either way, you always try to get as many yards as you can, but still, bottom line is you still won the field position battle because, again, for the second time tonight, Mount Vernon's going to be starting a drive on the Delta side of the football field. So, once again, you're winning the field position here as he just tiptoes along the sideline. He just barely steps out there along the 48-yard line there. So, but that's where they put it. He got a yard out of it. But bottom line is this. You're still winning the field position battle here, and this is a great way to keep that momentum going here going into the second quarter.
We've got to go 2 receivers to the right and 2 to the left this time. Looks like they got Cole in the slot position on the left side.
And now we got a timeout
called by Mount Vernon. So we're going to take a break, too. You're watching IHSAA Football, powered by Indiana SRN.
Life Centers offers love and compassion to all women and men who come through our 8 centers. The goal of this love and compassion is that we would not only save babies from abortion, but also transform lives and create families. The forms of this love and compassion are our services. All of our services are offered free of charge to our clients. To learn more about Life Centers, contact us at lifecenters.com or call us at 317-280-2635. Life Centers. We choose compassion.
Never miss an upcoming game. Again, subscribe to YouTube, Indiana SRN. You'll never miss a ball game. So it'll be 1st and 10 now for the Marauders from Delta's 48. Cole in motion from the left to the right side. Sloniker in the pistol. Takes a snap. Drops back. Airs it and incomplete, intended for Gentry.
Wow. Again, another designed pass there to Gentry there. He had a slight opening there, but pretty lockdown coverage there by the secondary of Delta. But still, once again, you had Bridenthal one-on-one with his receiver right here, had him beat. Just wasn't looking in that direction.
That'll be 2nd down and 10, 11:45 to go in the first half. Sluniker puts Bridenthal in motion. They hand off to Bridenthal. Now he throws back to Sluniker, and he drops it incomplete. It would have been a good play if it would have worked, right, Kurt?
You gotta make those throws, but still, even if you're a quarterback, you gotta make those catches. I mean, hey, you're in a good spot on the field right now here. That's a pretty good spot to actually try and get some trickery, maybe get a little bit more life out of your offense right there. Still, you're working with 3rd down and long right now.
And the one thing about that play, it had the defense going against, so if Sludiker would have caught it, had a lot of room to run.
And the job of selling that is the O-line. When you block to the left, you know everybody's going to go with you, and that opens up things in the flat.
Cole again, left to the right, in motion. Sludiker back to pass. Can't find anybody. He's going to run himself, and he's not going to pick up the 1st down, so it'll be a 4th down situation for Mount Vernon, and the punt team comes on. So if you're Delta, you've got to be pleased with that.
Well, you got to be pleased with it, but still, you got Mount Vernon still on your side of the football field. So yeah, you stop them, but still, you're going to be working with a pretty big deficit going back the other way. You got to try and shift the field position battle back in your favor a little bit.
Joe Ratliff back to punt. Oh, over his head.
And there it is.
And it's going to bounce, and Ratliff's going to try to get something, and he does kick it. It's high, but then it takes a Delta bounce. So if you're Delta, you got to love this.
Well, we mentioned, hang on a sec here. Looks like they're saying the ball's still live. They brought it back. It looks like they touched the ball. Delta may have touched the ball, and they're saying it's a touchdown. So what happened?
Oh my gosh!
So what happened there? The ball was live. It took a Delta bounce, and once it hits a Delta player, the ball is live, and that was great recognition there. I believe that was 83 Gavin Privet, the 6-foot junior, who brought it back. He saw that, had the presence of mind, and was able to bring it back. Let's take a look at the replay here, as we can just see what happened. So you see here the ball. So this is the punt here. He gets the punt off.
There's a high punt.
And he advances the kick here, but now let's see if it touches a player here. It takes a bounce. It's not touched yet. It didn't. That should be a dead ball right there. So that should not be a touchdown.
But, of course, in high school football, no replays. So
there is no replay, so the call stands. But that should.
Oh my!
But that they may have just reversed it. We'll see what. Nope, they're going to go with it.
Nope, they're going with it.
So they say it's a touchdown. That should not be a touchdown. That was not. There was no player even anywhere near the ball right there, and so that should not be a touchdown. And so now the coaches are probably going to have some words with the officials right now here to try and sort this out before we get the extra point on the board. But that should not be a touchdown, Bill.
Yeah, as we watched on the replay, We'll take a break. Again, you're watching IHSAA Football powered by Indiana SRN.
Life comes at you fast, so it's important to have some help along the way.
My favorite patient. My favorite patient.
When the dust settles, it doesn't always end as anticipated. Embrace the journey and care for the ones around you.
My favorite patient.
For everything else and every stage in between,
my favorite patient.
Methodist Sports Medicine is here for you.
Indiana SRN, never miss an upcoming game. Subscribe, YouTube. You cannot miss a ball game. And they're going to stay with the call. And, I kind of have to agree with them, Kurt. Nobody touched it. I don't know what they were, looking at down there. But the officials are huddled up here, so we'll see what happens. We'll see if we get a reversal here.
Well, the call is on the field as a touchdown. So if any reversal is made here, they're making it off of some sort of consensus of what maybe people saw.
Right.
But bottom line, it does get to a point where it's a little routine because obviously he punted the ball, it took a bounce, a Marauder player touched it, that's when the play ends. Now, normally – and when you take a look at it here, it's like, that's normally when it ends. Now we're going to see the rest of the punt here. But
Ratliff picks it up.
And then, he advances the punt, so that means it's a clean punt, which means it should be down if a Marauder touches the ball. Now, there's no player from Delta anywhere near it. It is downed. It is touched. That should be dead right there at the 39-yard line, and that should not be a touchdown.
So we still got the officials huddled up, so, they still got points on the board for Mount Vernon. But,
I mean, yeah, and they're
for,
going to hold
for
up
Delta, they got to take them off, if they can,
Well, it's a matter of what they decide to do right here, and right now the officials are still, huddling up, just talking about it right here. And I mean, they have the power to take the points off the board. They have to, if they have to reverse it, but if they do, they're doing it not from replay, because there is no replay in high school football. Although we would gladly offer up our replay right here from Indiana SRN to at least aid in the situation. But bottom line is this, and they're going to keep it.
Oh my
goodness! They're going to keep it.
Oh my goodness!
And, here's the other thing too, just to defend the officials a little bit here, because I mean, what else are they going to base it off of? If nobody got a clean view of it, they can't rightly take the points off the board. I mean, we have a clean view of it because we have the replay, but they clearly didn't have enough eyes on it to reverse the call, so they got to keep the points on the board.
Swingle in for the extra point try. The ball's down, the kick's in the air, and it is good. So with 10:51 to go in the ball game, 21-0. Mount Vernon, you're watching IHSAA Football, powered by Indiana SRN.
Our family has been very happy working with Wallflower Pictures,
because they make sure that I get the acting skills that I need in this industry and the education that I need.
Wallflower Pictures supports UV's journey in the industry. They're very passionate about his growth, and they're very professional and attentive to our needs.
And I truly believe in the projects I've worked on, like For the Boys and The Walk.
We love working with Wallflower Pictures.
Indiana SRN. If you like football or any kind of sport, never miss an upcoming game. Subscribe, YouTube. Well, here we go.
Catching our collective breath here, Bill.
Swingle on the kickoff. It's going to come down to, I thought it was Cody Howard on the return for Delta. And they'll.
And so we'll take a look at this again. So that's the replay of the return for the touchdown. That was technically a touchdown, but still, that should not have been a touchdown at all there, Bill. And I'm going to say it over and over again, because it was pretty clear that nobody touched that punt. And so, but right now the Marauders, they have a 3-score lead.
Delta takes it on their own 20. Hunt back to pass, flushed out of the pocket, going to keep it himself, and brought down.
Man, and too bad Hunt was on the other side of the field, because you saw Edgerton right here. He was calling for the ball. He had his man beat in one-on-one man coverage and just couldn't get it down there. So still, he managed to get at least 6 yards out of the play, but you'd like to at least have that opportunity back if you could.
Second down now for the Eagles of Delta. Hunt under center. Puts a man in motion from the left to right. Whitfield with the carry.
And so you get a gain of about a few yards on the play, so that'll bring about third down and about maybe a long 3 or so.
Nate Weaver, number 15, on the stop for Mount Vernon. 3rd and 3 for the Eagles of Delta.
And if you're Delta right now, I mean, you at least got to try and keep some sense of morale on your side of the field. But, of course, that blown call right there certainly doesn't help. But nonetheless, I mean, you still got plenty of time in this game. You still got to at least try and get some of that rhythm back here.
Back to pass, and he's flushed out of the pocket, and he's going to pick up a Delta first down.
And that's a way to do it right there. It's like, all right, good. We got the first down, and now you just try to keep everything going here as we've got a Marauder slow to get up. And that's looks like that's Jared Williams.
Jared Williams, slow to get up.
And you certainly don't want him out of the lineup.
And you know what, Kurt? That blown call by the officials could be the fuel that fires this Delta Ball Club up.
It could be, but like I said, it's a matter of psyche. It is simple psychology. It's how you take it. Either you keep yourself down in the dumps and keep the morale low, or you do something about it.
Belenji goes in motion, and they hand off to number 2, and that's Abram Stitt.
And you're going to see a little bit of Abram Stitt here in those types of situations right there. He's a sophomore. He's an up-and-coming role player that you're going to be seeing coming in and out of this offense. But that was well executed to disguise that handoff. It looked like they were clearly going to Whitfield, but just a slight little handoff and a little bit of just kind of offhand handoff right there.
Hunt goes in under center, hands off to Stitt again.
And they're trying to get, so clearly they're trying to get Stitt going here.
They're trying to find some kind of rhythm now.
And they're already kind of getting it right here. And of course that first down was key. You get that first down, you give yourself some wiggle room, and now you're giving yourself even more wiggle room as you just try and nickel and dime down your field. It's one thing I'll probably say over and over again tonight, but it's a great way to just kind of give yourself a little bit of rhythm.
Hunt hands off to Whitfield. Whitfield almost broke a tackle, but it's going to bring up a third and manageable situation for Delta.
And that's what you can do right there. You're still winding the clock a little bit, but down 21 points, the clock isn't exactly your friend. But nonetheless, you're moving yourself down the field, and that's what you want to. That's what you want to happen going into halftime here as we're slowly winding down the second quarter.
It'll be 3rd down and 4. Hunt is in the shotgun, and he's going to keep it himself, but he's stopped by, looks like, number 7, Jack Robinson.
And Jack Robinson, he's one of those guys that'll be in the backfield every once in a while. He has 1.5 sacks along with a couple tackles for loss so far this season. And, yeah, great pressure to get in on there, and I think Scott Lohman was also in there on the pressure as well.
That'll bring up a 4th and 4, and Coach Overholt is keeping the offense on the field.
Hey, go big or go home at this point.
Hunt under center. Trying, I think, to draw him offside maybe, and now they're going to take a timeout as the play clock was winding down. So 7:28 to go in the first quarter, or in the first half. Mount Vernon 21, Delta 0. You're watching IHSAA Football, powered by Indiana SRN.
Parents, do you like free food? Get on over to Prodigy Burger and Bar, where Monday is family night and kids eat free. Every day you can find daily specials featuring craft burgers, tacos, wings, and more. Prodigy is now playing the NFL Sunday Ticket on more than 25 TVs, so you won't miss a second of your favorite teams. Prodigy also caters, hosts private events, as well as dine and donates. Celebrate your school spirit with us at Prodigy Burger and Bar. More than just burgers, located in Clay Terrace in Carmel.
Indiana SRN, you can never miss an upcoming game. Subscribe to YouTube, and you'll never miss a game, especially this one here tonight, Kurt.
Well, yeah, because then you can go back and look at that blown call. But bottom line is this now. If you're Delta, you got to put that. It's done. It's over and done with now. And so you got to keep trying again. They're going to try and go for it again. They tried drawing them offsides on the previous one. It was unsuccessful. Looks like they're going to try and actually go for it this time.
They had a man jump. Belenji was the guy that jumped. You're coming out of a timeout. Come on, fellas.
Mental mistakes. He probably got antsy right there. He may have seen an opening or something, but either way, now you've got to punt if you're Coach Overholt, which really, really sucks because it's like now you were in prime position right there. You had a chance. Now it would be irresponsible to still go for it at this point.
It's going to be Ryland Cole, Ashton Gentry back to take the punt from Brady Hunt. Hunt, high kick. Gentry's going to field it at about the 15. He finds a little crease, a big crease, penalty flag, though. That's Ryland Cole. My mistake.
And that's going to come back there. Looks like they're going to get Avery, or they're going to get Ashton Gentry with a block in the back there. So that's going to come back, and they're going to put that at the spot of the ball plus 10 yards, I believe, and that'll back them up a little bit.
So Mount Vernon will take over with 7:14 to go here in the first half. And they have a 21 to nothing lead right now.
So now, if you're the Marauders, though, I mean, you got handed something right there, but now you just you keep doing what you're doing, which is moving the ball around. You're divvying it out well. You're spreading the defense out, and you're getting opportunities, and you're recognizing those opportunities.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Marauders from their own 17-yard line, with 7:14 to go here in the first half, and a 21 to nothing lead. Sluniker in the shotgun. Takes a snap. Airs it out. Complete to Gentry.
And again, just kind of a run-pass option right there. You go ahead, you just move it out to the right side. And Ashton Gentry, he's been running that route all night. Just a quick little slant to the inside, and he's going to hit him every time if he can get open.
It'll be a 2nd down and 4 for the Marauders. Trip receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And they're going to hand off to LaBelle.
So LaBelle's been the feature back right now this evening here, coming out of the backfield, getting most of those handoffs, and they're using Cole a little bit more as kind of the play action jet sweep kind of guy out of the backfield, and of course stretched out to the end here. So it's kind of a change up a little bit from what you normally see in this offense.
3rd down and 5 now for the Marauders. Trip receivers again to the left side, 1 lone receiver to the right. Sluniker started the count, then looks over at the Marauders sideline. Puts man in motion. Airs it out to Ryland Cole, and he broke a tackle.
And that's making something out of nothing.
Going to pick up he's going to be just short of the 1st down.
Still, and that's making something out of nothing right there, and that's what you expect from your big senior Ryland Cole. He's a big athlete, one of those guys that just really knows how to get downfield, and, of course, he's going to go play at Indiana State next year, which is going to be a good fit for him.
There was a penalty on Mount Vernon. It was a holding call on Mount Vernon. So
that'll back him up 10 yards.
That'll negate that play. So it'll be 4th down, and Joel Ratliff in to punt. Let's see what happens on this snap now.
Now you've won the field position. You've finally gotten a little bit of the field position battle back in your favor a little bit. Now, keep in mind, Ratliff is a pretty good punter. He's able to boot the ball down the field, but now it's just a matter of being good execution here on special teams.
5:30 to go here in the first half, and they faked it. And LaBelle took the snap and picks up a 1st down and across the 50-yard line. Oh, my.
Mount Vernon throwing salt on an open wound right there. That was actually the perfect time. If you were going to run a fake, that's the perfect time to do it right there, because you've already got the psychological battle on your side, but now it's just a matter of you're back on 4th down and really, really long. You don't normally expect a fake right there as we take a look at the replay here.
And LaBelle was the up man that took the snap, and he just found a little crease. And when LaBelle finds a crease, he takes advantage of it.
He's just one of those specialty players who can just execute in so many facets of this game.
1st and 10 for the Marauders. Sluniker fakes that. Oh, penalty flag coming. So this one's probably going to come back again.
Looks like it's probably going to be a hold there. It looked like it may have been Cole Herman there, just grabbing the jersey a little bit of the defensive player for the Delta Eagles. So that's going to back him up here another 10 yards or so. We'll see what the official call is.
And if you're Coach Kirshner, you're furious right now.
Well, you're furious about that, but still, I mean, you're still in a manageable situation there. It's still going to be 1st down. You at least get the down back here, but now you're backing up 10 yards, but you're still cooking on gas here after that fake punt. But you're right. It's a mental mistake that, especially on a play like that, you already had the man beat. You're going to get a little bit. You don't need to try and get that little extra grab to try and squeeze as many yards as you can out of it.
Backs it all the way back to their own 37-yard line. Cozell goes in motion from the left to the right. They pitch back to Ryland Cole, it looks like.
And so Cole getting most of that penalty yardage back right there. They're going to pitch it out there, and he's athletic when you get him outside. And as we mentioned earlier, he's going to be playing at Indiana State next year. He's going to be one of those role players from out of the backfield and a really good athlete for Coach Kurt Mallory next year.
So it'll be a second down now for the Marauders. As we got 4:10 to go here in the first half.
And down low, you've got Ronnie Foster one-on-one.
Sluniker back to pass. Wide open. Tipped. Oh, incomplete. Intended for.
And you were forcing the ball right there. I mean, don't get me wrong. You're doing a good job of trying to make it so that you can give your receiver a chance to actually compete for it. Jake Stank there on the intended receiver. But, yeah, you're giving your guy a chance to actually contest for that ball.
Right.
But still, you got to make sure you're scanning your other options because he had Ronnie Foster wide open here. It would have been a shorter gain, but nonetheless, it would have been a little bit more manageable than a third down and long.
Third down, and we'll call it 18 for the Marauders. Sluniker's got trip receivers to the left, one lone receiver to the right side. Looks like it's Eli Bridenthal. Sluniker back to pass. Throwing and in little underthrown. It was intended for Ryland Cole.
Well, I think that was probably a second option there going for Cole because once again they had Gentry coming in on one of those little slant routes right to the post. But that time Delta had that well pretty much staked down, and so he was looking longer to Cole. He was one-on-one, but just couldn't quite connect with him.
Looks like it's going to be Cody Howard and Trevor Edgerton back to take this punt from Joel Ratliff. Snap, kick, and
not
goes
a good
out of bounds.
And not a good punt there from Ratliff. And so now you've got a little bit better field position here if you're Delta. But now if you're Delta, you want to get creative and at least try and take a couple shots downfield and just, don't be careless with the ball. But nonetheless, you want to get something on the board here before the end of the half.
Well, yeah, you want to build some momentum, some motivation going into halftime, So it'll be 1st and 10 for Delta from their own 48-yard line. Hunt under center, back to pass, looking, throws, and it's complete to number 3.
That's Cody
and
Howard.
Cody Howard.
And so Howard you're going to see him a little bit worked into the offense. He's more of a defensive specialist here for this team, but you see him on the offensive end every once in a while. But good recognition of the one-on-one coverage right there along with Jalen Thompson there for Mount Vernon.
3:30 to go in the first half. Hunt in the shotgun this time. Rolls to the left. Looking, throws, got the man, Edgerton.
And that time it was a blown coverage, but still that was actually good execution there from number 5 Logan Manor there for Delta. He had it looking like he was going to have them beat, and the safety bit, and that opened it up just a little bit there for Edgerton to get a little bit of an edge coming back to the ball.
2nd and 4 this time. Hunt goes under center. Airs it out. He's got Howard. And it's incomplete.
Just overthrew him a little bit. Good throw right there. It was just a little bit too much steam, and the winds died down a little bit there, so you can't exactly blame a tailwind on that. But still, good option, just didn't quite connect.
Going to bring up a 3rd down and 3 situation for the Eagles of Delta. And the ball is at Mount Vernon's 35-yard line. Hunt going to go under center.
Edgerton in the slot here.
Back to pass. The pressure comes, and they throw him for a loss.
And the O-line just lets the defenders slip in there. It looks like in on that tackle.
It's Cole Herman, looks like.
You would be correct, sir. And so Cole Herman checking in there. He's actually in for Jared Williams, who went out earlier with an injury, so you're seeing him kind of worked into this lineup a little bit.
So now it's 4th and 5. Overholt keeps the offense on the field for the Eagles. Hunt back to pass. Looking, and he got hit, but it's picked up by Whitfield, and he's finally brought down by number 24 for Mount Vernon. That's Andrew Hefner.
And that was Keegan LaBelle in there getting the initial sack and the forced fumble there, but it was recovered by Javon Whitfield as you take a look at the replay here of this great defensive set here. But you see LaBelle come in there, he strips it.
Yep.
And that'll be a sack to his credit and a forced fumble. And then just cleaning it up there the rest of the way is Avery Williams.
So Mount Vernon takes over on their own 46. 2:20 to go here in the first half. Sluniker. High snap. Hands off to LaBelle. LaBelle staying on his feet and gets it back to about the 50-yard line.
And Mount Vernon doing a really good job of selling that fake jet, that play-action jet sweep there to Rylan Cole. And they're going to keep giving it because Keegan LaBelle, he's had the hot hand all night out of the backfield, and they're going to keep feeding him if he stays hot.
2nd and 6 now for the Marauders. Sluniker back to pass, throws, and it's incomplete, intended for Ronnie Foster.
That was a bad throw there by Sluniker, and of course getting a little excited because you have Ronnie Foster open there on a pretty easy pitch and catch. He just put it into the ground there, and you got to make it. You got to at least hit your guy on the numbers and then let him worry about getting the rest of the yardage downfield.
It'll be 3rd down and 6 for the Marauders. Under 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Sluniker starts the count, then looks over at the Marauder sideline. LaBelle moves to the left side of Sluniker. Takes a snap, and he fakes the handoff, and Sluniker keeps it himself, and he's going to be short of the first down.
It'll be an interesting play call here from Coach Mike Kirshner. You got the clock running, your 4th down and 1. I'd imagine you're going to go for it right here. And indeed they do.
Foster, the lone receiver to the left side, trips to the right. They hand off to LaBelle. Nope, that's Rylan Cole. No, that is LaBelle. LaBelle takes it all the way for a Marauder touchdown.
So Keegan LaBelle, he has a fake punt, a strip sack and forced fumble, and now a touchdown on a 4th down and 1 play. Keegan LaBelle is doing it all tonight for Mount Vernon.
So with 1:20 to go in the first half, it is now Mount Vernon 27, Delta 0 as Swingle comes on for the extra point try.
And I'd imagine Mount Vernon is not feeling any type of hangover right now from the New Palestine game just a week ago.
Low snap, kicks in the air.
Well, that was interesting. And they're going to get roughing the kicker or running into the kicker at least here, or the holder. Either way, it's going to be a penalty on Delta, and we'll see what they get here. We'll get that after the break.
You're watching IHSAA Football powered by Indiana SRN.
Parents, do you like free food? Hike it on over to Prodigy Burger and Bar, where Monday is family night and kids eat free. Every day you can find daily specials featuring craft burgers, tacos, wings, and more. Prodigy is now playing the NFL Sunday Ticket on more than 25 TVs, so you won't miss a second of your favorite teams. Prodigy also caters, hosts private events, as well as dine and donates. Celebrate your school spirit with us at Prodigy Burger and Bar. More than just burgers, located in Clay Terrace in Carmel.
Live back at Delta High School, Bill Ledlow, along with my colleague, Kurt Darling. And, we were talking off the air. We didn't think it was going to be kind of the ball game that we got right now. I thought it was going to be a lot closer than what we are right now.
Well, it's like what we talked about with Coach Kirshner before the game. I expected a little bit more of that New Palestine hangover to kind of at least jolting Mount Vernon a little bit. But so far, Mount Vernon, they have done very, very well here, just keeping their poise and just keeping the game going in their favor as the ball goes out the back of the end zone. They were kicking off from Delta's side of the football field here as it was going to be a roughing. They're running into the kicker penalty on the PAT. But let's just look at this Keegan LaBelle play. It's insane.
He takes the handoff, jumps over one guy.
And just sheds the tackler.
And once he did that, it's all power by Keegan LaBelle. And the guy almost got him, but Keegan was already into the end zone for Mount Vernon. So 1:20 to go in the first half. Delta from their own 20. Hunt under center. And a little shovel pass, it looks like.
Well, that was a good read because Mount Vernon, they sent their guy on the blitz there. And that was, they sent Alex Lapointe there on the blitz, and that was lucky the play call what it was because they were able to get that shuffle pass around him and negate that pressure.
Picks up a first down for Delta. Hunt. They hand off to number 10, and that's Titus Hill.
And you want to see a lot more of Titus Hill. He's one of those guys that's really going to he really has a bright future for this Delta squad. He's one of those kids, he's a junior. He's probably going to have a big year next year, but you want to try and get him a little bit more involved in the offense here. That's the first time he's actually touched the ball tonight.
And he goes in motion. This time they hand off to Belange. Belange cuts it across and picks up another Delta first down.
You got to be quick here, though. You want to at least try and get yourself something here. You got a couple timeouts here as well. But they're going to stop the clock to move the chains here, and we'll see what they call.
Hunt goes under center, drops back, airs it out, and it's picked off by Mount Vernon. And that's George Burheen with the pick.
Of course, Burheen is having a really good day on defense here for the Marauders, and that was just a bad throw. He got a flag on the play here, I'm assuming after the interception. We'll see what the laundry is there from the officials, but still, ill-advised throw there. You're throwing into quadruple coverage here is Young, or is Hunt. And so, yeah, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys right there covering one receiver.
And it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Marauders with 10 seconds to go here in the first half.
So they're going to...
And probably just take a knee in the first half.
So they're going to walk back 10 yards here on that penalty. So still have the interception, and, yeah, you're right. You're probably just going to take a knee here and take it to halftime here as Coach Overholt is going to have a lot to talk about here with his squad going at 28-0 down here in the first half.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Marauders from their own 35. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Sluniker goes under center, takes the snap, kneels down, the clock winds, and that's going to be the end of the first half. With the score, Mount Vernon 28, Delta 0. You're watching IHSAA Football, powered by Indiana SRN.
Students definitely inspire me. I love my job. I love the light bulb moments. I love being that caretaker and caregiver for other people's children all day long.
I've noticed that a lot of kids are really nervous and anxious about doing everything perfect. And I think that when they really get to know me and I get to know them, I can help them understand that just being their self is right. As long as they believe in themselves and are confident in themselves, then their schoolwork shines.
What distinguishes Mount Vernon Community School Corporation? Our students are proof of the high-quality academics and exceptional dynamic teachers. Mount Vernon schools are among the top districts in the state, with our 4-star schools and an A-rated district. But it's more than that. Mount Vernon schools are known for instilling core values that inspire excellence, build character, and support others.
Mount Vernon is a place where hard work and big dreams equal amazing accomplishments. We are a growing school district in the heart of Indiana, and we provide our students with exemplary academics in a blended learning environment. Through a multitude of opportunities and a safe learning environment, we inspire a love of learning in our students so that they can thrive as adults. I believe all students deserve to learn at high levels, and for us to accomplish that vision, we must meet the needs of the whole child. Our one-to-one environment helps to provide enriching educational projects that challenge students. As a matter of fact, our district was one of the first in the state to be kindergarten through grade 12 STEM certified. Mount Vernon Community School Corporation provides high-quality academics, arts, and athletics.
My education at Mount Vernon Middle School has been outstanding because the teachers are just so amazing and they know exactly what they're teaching and they know how to cater to every student's needs.
I love how many clubs and activities we have. There's always like another club that makes you feel like you belong there and like you have a place in this school.
Every person can come to Mount Vernon Middle School and get a good education.
Our teachers inspire students with a passion for learning, nurturing their growth in innovative, progressive ways.
I don't care how good you are, I want you to try your best at this. And as long as you try your best, there's a good chance they're going to succeed in what they're doing in that day. So I always say, just do your best.
I feel here at Mount Vernon, we have an increased rigor that some students might not be used to, but that's what they're going to see in high school, that's what they're going to see in college, that's what they're going to expect to see in the workforce.
Together as a Mount Vernon family, we provide positive experiences to challenge and develop each child to their fullest potential.
All three of my children have graduated, they have all received scholarships. And the teachers, they go out of their way to make sure that the young people are well prepared, starting from kindergarten level. This is a community, we're a family, we're all here to work together.
Our students thrive, strive, and succeed because at Mount Vernon Schools, we engage, educate, and empower. It's what we believe. It's what we do for all our students.
Discover Mount Vernon, where teachers are focused on one thing, your child.
We are Mount Vernon Schools!
I'm going to try to make it down to the little boys' room. I'll be right back.
Have at it.
I'll let this number do this. Oh, I'm sure you are.
Hey Mom and Dad, make me proud today. I'm playing a sport I love. I'm probably not going to be pro, or who knows, I may not even play in college. It's a game I love, and my teammates in our community want you to show good sportsmanship. Rude or verbally abusive behavior will not be tolerated today. Instead, cheer loud and be proud of our performance. Be a good role model, and please have fun watching us play. Thank you for practicing good sports momship and sports dadship today at my game.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 160,000 participants here in Indiana who take part in high school sports.
In this seat, the pressure is high. And for this season, this is your seat. The National Federation of State High School Associations would like to thank you for supporting your child in learning positive, lifelong lessons by participating in interscholastic activities. As a parent, there are many feelings and emotions that you will experience during your student's participation in interscholastic activities. While watching your student participate, you can experience the entire emotional spectrum, from sheer joy to utter disappointment. At the same time, for students who are motivated to be part of a team, it can be an enjoyable and rewarding experience for everyone. Sitting in the parent seat requires thought and discipline. It is not an easy seat. The parent seat is a place where you and your student want to create enjoyable memories, not experiences filled with inappropriate language or unsporting behavior. The one who suffers most from these experiences is your child. Negative parent behaviors can be embarrassing to your student and damaging to your relationship as their biggest fan. This is the last thing you want. Here are 10 suggestions to help you with the emotions that arise in the parent seat. 1. Develop an awareness. Recognizing that you may be part of the problem in the stands is the first step to addressing it. This in itself can be challenging, as typically you are the last one to know if you are part of the problem. 2. Understand the benefits. Recognize the benefits that participation in interscholastic activities provides your student. Interscholastic activities provide a platform that promotes fitness, the opportunity to be part of a team and community, can improve your students' confidence, and provides an opportunity to learn new skills and improve current skills. 3. Embrace the growth and development of your student. By participating in activities, your student will have many opportunities to learn life lessons that will help him or her as they transition into adulthood. Taking a hands-off approach at times can be difficult for parents, but also rewarding for both the student and the parent. It can allow the student to gain confidence and independence to deal with their own obstacles. And many times, this independence can be one of the most important challenges to strengthening trust in your relationship. Knowing that your student is struggling can bring some comfort because it is evidence that your student is on a path to adulthood. 4. Visualize yourself as a respectful spectator. Many studies indicate that the number one reason kids participate in sports and activities is to have fun. Please keep that top of mind and in perspective throughout the school year. Emphasize to your student that they should enjoy the experience and, above all, have fun. Understanding and communicating this perspective can provide balance and support when it is needed the most, and ensure a fun and enjoyable interscholastic experience for your child. 5. Consider exercising before the event. Exercising doesn't necessarily mean a 60-minute workout. A short walk, deep breathing, or a few stretching exercises may be helpful to relieve stress. It is also a proven fact that exercise can release endorphins that help you deal with stress. 6. Participate in a relaxing activity. Find something that you enjoy doing, such as reading a book or listening to music before the event. Relaxing before a game, competition, or other event may help provide a positive state of mind as you prepare to watch your child participate in their activity. 7. Take a break. If your emotions begin to escalate while in the stands, a brief timeout may help you reset your emotions. It could be as simple as taking a restroom break, a trip to the concession stand, or a short walk. 8. The 24-hour rule. If you ever feel compelled to confront a coach, take some time to collect your thoughts and allow your emotions to settle before you do. If after 24 hours you still feel compelled to address an issue, call and schedule an appointment. 9. Be responsible. Be responsible in your decision making. You are a role model, and it is important to understand that not only is your child watching you, but so are other participating students. Be aware and set a good example for all of the young people in attendance. 10. Support your student. There are a lot of ways to let your student know that you are a supportive parent. Tell them that you love watching them participate, or how proud you are of the sacrifices they make to be part of a team. Once again, focus on the fun. Be a good listener when your student needs you. Supporting them and understanding their feelings, hopes, and dreams can help you build on your trusting and loving relationship. Be aware that you will experience many emotions while sitting in the parent seat. Realizing there are challenges that come with the territory is an important step in supporting your students' participation in interscholastic activities. Students learn so much from their experiences that only activities can uniquely provide. You want your student to enjoy being part of a team and community without having to worry about what you may say or do in the stands. When your student looks back on their high school experience, what do you want them to remember? The experience should be enjoyable for you, beneficial for your student, and hopefully provides an opportunity to build a closer bond with your child. That opportunity begins now in the parent seat.
Gets the ball.
Live back at Delta High School. Halftime, the score, Mount Vernon Marauders 28, the Delta Eagles 0. Kurt, we got a little explanation to do here now on that botched punt on the 4th down that Mount Vernon kicked, but then they advanced it for a touchdown.
Exactly. Now, this was, in hindsight, this was the correct call. Now let's focus on this right here. This is a live ball because it was a missed snap, so the ball is live, which means that player could have the Delta player could have recovered it. Now, this is where it gets really, really tricky. The ball is in the air right now. It's high in the air, but the line of scrimmage is just this far forward. You see on the right of your screen there, that was where the pylon was, and so we'll take a look at it here again here. So you see now on your screen, if you move forward a little bit here, we're going backwards right now, but if we go a little bit forward, as we wait for the punt to go through the air here.
It's in the air right now.
You're going to see the ball. You're going to see where the line of scrimmage marker is right there at the end of your screen here where the pylon is. The ball does not make it back to the line of scrimmage. This ball is still live. It is considered a fumble by rule because it did not make it back to the line of scrimmage. This ball is still live. It was recovered by Mount Vernon. Therefore, the ball is a correct call. It is a correct call by the officials, and they were right to discuss it. They were right to make sure they had everything on their end. And in hindsight, it was a good call by the officials. It's a touchdown.
Yeah, the fans from Delta, could be upset. I understand that, But one of the fans was talking to one of the guys up here in the press box. He explained to him, he's like, "Are you kidding me?" And that's one of those rules that everybody thinks they know the rules in football, but then this pops up. And I didn't think I thought they made a bad call, but in defense, they did make the right call.
Well, no, and I'm one of those. I'm totally guilty. In fact, due apologies to the officiating crew. They were on top of it.
Exactly.
Because I like everybody else thought, it's a punt. Where the punt is down, that's where the punt is down. Who knew that? Sometimes you need to be able to actually understand the game completely, and the fact that by rule here in IHSAA, the ball has to get back to the line of scrimmage for it to be a punt. Otherwise, if it doesn't get there and it's a bad snap like it was, that was a live ball, you kick the ball away, that's technically a fumble. You pick it up, you pick up the live ball, you take it in for a touchdown. But still, even then, like many of the Delta players, they clearly weren't quite really in tune with that rule either, because they were like, okay, they downed the ball right there, we'll take the ball up on offense. No, right. And good presence of mind by the coaching staff on the Mount Vernon's end to make that clarification as well, to tell them, hey, go. Exactly, and so they did it. But still, bottom line is, in hindsight, it was a correct call by the officials, and good on them for recognizing that. And that's why the IHSAA officials, there's no better officials in the country.
Exactly.
Don't get me wrong, nobody's perfect. We don't expect anybody to be perfect. But still, the fact of the matter is, they got together, they made the correct decision, they made the correct call, and the scoreboard reflects it.
Yeah, and the recipient of running that back for a touchdown was number 83, Gavin Privet. He's a 6-foot junior, 155 pounds. So, hey, he's in the scorebook basically tonight, for a touchdown.
Indeed, and that was part of all of the momentum right there that you give to Mount Vernon right now. But still, Mount Vernon, they did a good job of just executing. They went out there, they had a game plan, and they executed it, and they didn't get caught up like we've been talking about all night long in the New Palestine hangover, which is what Coach Kirshner was so fearful of as we were talking with him before the game started. So they went out there, they executed, but now if you're Delta, you got to put all of that behind you right now, and you've got to try and just change something up to try and at least get something and get some momentum going on your side right now. And
you've kind of, I was going to throw a question at you. I was going to have you put your Kurt Darling coach's hat on. You're Coach Overholt. You're in a halftime. What do you tell your players?
Well, first off, you tell them to stay calm. You calm down. I mean, you shake it all off. I mean, there was some controversy in the first half. We got that all straightened out, but now you got to straighten that out with yourself as well. But as far as a game plan is concerned, you got to take better care of the ball, because especially down there late in the second half, you saw Brady Hunt just try and force it a little bit down low there into some quadruple coverage, and it didn't work that way. You got to take better care of the ball, and whether if it's nickel and diamond down the field, you got a fresh 30 minutes of football here right now. If you're Delta, you're able to at least make it interesting here, but you really got to execute. But also on defense as well, you got to clamp down on your receivers. You got to really make sure you're sticking it to them. You can't get beat one-on-one, which is exactly what they've been doing all night long. And
you know, this Mount Vernon defense, you know, they're up to the challenge right now. I mean, you know, they know they've got a 28-0 lead. Let's continue to pressure, you know, the quarterback and covering the receivers and things like that. But Mount Vernon scored 28 in the first half. Guess what? Delta could score 28 in the second half.
They could, and they could, and definitely. And bottom line is this, though: if you're Delta, I mean, it's paramount you don't let Mount Vernon score here, or you have to get a score here first. You have to beat Mount Vernon to the scoreboard first right here.
Exactly.
Because keep in mind, under brand new IHSAA rules that were rolled out a couple years ago, if Mount Vernon reaches 35 points, you've got a running clock for the rest of the game, regardless of whether or not you get it back within that deficit.
That's true. Good
and
point.
so then you have time on your side. The moment that Mount Vernon gets that 35 point deficit right there, time is totally out the window, and now you're really in big trouble.
So let's see. Mount Vernon took the opening kick. Delta took the opening kick. And so Mount Vernon's going to get it to start the second half.
And so now you really got to call on your defense.
What Kurt just talked about. You don't want them marching down the field and hitting that 35-point mark.
Exactly. And so now you've really got to you need a stop from your defense right here. You got to get some pressure on Garrig Sluniker, who has had a lot of time to throw here tonight. He's been able to roll out of the pocket. He's been able to stand inside the pocket. His offensive line has done a good job of protecting him. And so now it's just a matter of getting that protection, but if you're Mount Vernon, but also negating that protection and trying to get as much pressure as you can here on the quarterback in Delta.
It looks like it's Jalen Thomason and number 8 and number 32, Keegan LaBelle, back to take this kick. Griffith has the ball teed up for Delta as we are ready to get the third quarter underway here at Delta High School. The high kick is going to come down to LaBelle at about the 15, 20, finds a little crease, stays on his feet. He's at the 50. 45-40, look out! And there it is, just what we talked about. They hit up to 34 points now on a kick return by Keegan LaBelle.
And that's just a dagger in the side right there if you're Delta as we take a look at the replay. But this was excellent coverage here on special teams. Great block up front there by 18, and of course after that you just split the defender and just a little bit of sloppy tackling from Delta's end. But nonetheless, it was just great coverage there by Mount Vernon to try and just find the seam, and then Keegan LaBelle. He just was Keegan LaBelle.
But wait a minute, I think they're going to take that.
Now they're going to bring it back.
There was a penalty on the play, so that will negate that return by Keegan LaBelle.
Well, all right, so Delta catching a break right there on the flag that it was thrown all the way back on the other side of the field, so it's kind of hard to see where it was thrown right there. And so it was probably a block in the back right there. So either way, and so there you go. It negates it, and now Mount Vernon starts
deep. You need some positives for Delta?
There you go.
Here.
And so they caught a break right there.
1st and 10 for the Marauders, and they will start on their own 12-yard line. Sluniker in the shotgun. Puts Gentry in motion from the left to the right side. Takes a snap, and it hands off to probably LaBelle.
And that's what you want right there if you're Delta. You just cram up that hole in the middle right there. You got to at least keep them from running up the middle right here. And Delta, they just got to keep that pressure. You got to keep the pressure on the middle right here, but also be careful because they might find an opening downfield.
Now you got Ryland Cole in the backfield with Garrig Sluniker.
That's the first time we've seen him in the backfield tonight.
Sluniker takes it, pitches back to Cole. Cole tried to split the defenders, got a little gain, but brought down by number 33, Logan Drown.
And that time you had a little bit of a spy in the backfield there on the defensive backfield from Delta, and that allowed them to just follow the blockers, make sure they're keeping everybody in front of them, and to keep it from getting a lot worse there.
This will be a 3rd down and 6 situation for the Marauders of Mount Vernon. Sluniker in the open backfield. 2 receivers to the left, trip receivers to the right side. So you're wondering what he's going to do with it. He brings it down. He's going to carry it himself. And he's going to be right at the first down marker, and they are going to give him the first down. So Garrick Sluniker keeps it himself and picks up a Mount Vernon first down.
And that time, the good blocking there by the O-line of Mount Vernon, they allowed Sluniker to get a little bit of time as we got a whistle and a timeout, I believe.
And it's a timeout by Delta. So you're watching IHSAA Football powered by Indiana SRN.
At this time, let's meet the cheerleaders.
There's no greater anti-poverty measure than to give a person a job. That helps them start to change that trajectory.
Morales Group is a full-service staffing company that provides temporary labor in the Indianapolis, Central Indiana market.
It was a challenge that was given by my father. He wanted me to give back much more than I had been. Then I realized that when he said more, he wanted me to see how I could give more. And it wasn't just in money, but in time and in services. And that's how the Morales Group was created.
I started off at Morales Group as an intern. I interned for 3 years before going on full-time staff here. What I love most about Morales Group is that big family aspect. I come from a big family in Mexico, and since the company is continuously growing, I feel like there's always a new member of the family that I get to know.
We're willing to give. We're willing to serve others, and we're not expecting something in return.
Come talk to us. We would love to work with you.
Darling, there's a pass from Sluniker to Gentry.
Seen a lot of Gentry here and just a couple specialty plays as well. He's caught a couple passes. You normally see him doing the slants here tonight. It's the first time we've seen him do more of a post play.
So picks up. Oh, another flag on the play. It's going to be against Mount Vernon.
And so now Mount Vernon getting a little sloppy with the penalty yardage here. In fact, I think they've committed more penalty yards so far here compared to Delta. But either way, you had a good gain right there. You pick up a first down, and right now you're giving Delta many opportunities here to try and at least keep it close here right now. I mean, obviously, we talked about it. You got that 35-point threshold. You don't want to. You certainly don't. If you're Delta, you don't want Mount Vernon to eclipse that.
That'll be 1st and 10 from their own 1st and 18 from their own 13-yard line. The Marauders, Sluniker back, throws, caught, and it's to.
Looked like they got Gentry again.
Gentry again.
And so you got Gentry again getting a lot of the calls right here, but also good blocking there from Cole Herman there to try and get some protection for Gentry to get some yardage after the catch.
Sluniker. He's got LaBelle back in the backfield with him this time.
Might see a blitz here from Delta.
2 receivers left, 2 to the right.
And they back off.
Sluniker back to pass. Wants to air it out. He does, and almost picked off over there by Cody Howard.
So it falls incomplete looking there for Kozoil. And Kozoil kind of got a little cold late there in the second half. Granted, he was also being overshadowed by Keegan LaBelle there late in the first half. But bottom line is this: you're at least sticking with what has been working so far if you're Mount Vernon. But right now, Delta's been doing a really good job of just shutting down and kind of keeping it so that they're keeping everybody in front of them and forcing Sluniker to make a little bit more creative throws.
9:23 to go. 3rd and 15 for the Marauders. Sluniker.
There's a pressure.
Throws, and it's incomplete.
And right there.
Intended for LaBelle.
And right there, you want to get pressure on Sluniker, especially in that situation right there. You're 4th down and long. You try to get as much pressure on him as you can because it's a lot more difficult for them to pick up the first down in that situation. He tried to check down, falls incomplete. Either way, you get some good pressure, and now you're forcing him to punt.
Now, if you're Mount Vernon, you need a good snap here because you get a high snap, chances are a safety, and then Delta gets the ball back.
Exactly.
So it'll be 4th and 15 now for the Marauders. Ratliff on for the punt. Decent snap, kick, and it takes a Mount Vernon bounce, and it's going to go inside the 40-yard line of Delta.
So if you're Delta, your defense, they did their job, even though it took them a little longer than they may have liked. Either way, they got the job done. So now if you're the offense, you've got to reward that defense right here.
So they'll start on their own 39-yard line, the Eagles of Delta will. And 9:10 to go here in the third quarter. 28-0 Mount Vernon. Hunt is in the shotgun, takes a snap. Hands off, but he's brought down in the backfield or right at the line of scrimmage.
In on the tackle there. Yeah, you got Makai Richmond there in on the tackle, as well as a little bit of help from Jared Williams, who's back into the ball game. That's good to see here for the Marauders. They're going to plug up those holes right here. Delta's going to try and go with what works for them as well. But then again, you got to try and at least get something right here, and you got to get some rhythm moving.
Hunt takes a snap. Rolls to the left, pitches back, and that play didn't work. Pitch back to Whitfield.
And that time the defense just reading the option right there and just couldn't get it there. Just clobbered him up. And now the Mount Vernon defense really just playing that shutdown game that they've been playing all night long.
That'll be 3rd down and 15 from Delta's own 34-yard line. Hunt is in the shotgun. Takes a snap, wants to air it out, can't find anybody, and then finally brought down as he was pressured. He's brought down by Keegan LaBelle.
And so right there, Delta tried to catch the defense off guard to try and at least steal a little bit of a play there. But, again, just great presence of mind by the Mount Vernon secondary to just keep everybody in front of them for as long as they could before recognizing that they were getting pressure on Hunt. And now we have another punt coming here from Delta.
Brady Hunt will do the punting for the Eagles. Gentry and Cole back to take the punt. There's the kick. Takes a high bounce, picked up by Cole. Cole along the sidelines, finally ran out of bounds.
And we're going to get some flags for probably some unnecessary roughness here, as Cole was, I think, probably already out of bounds. And you saw some frustration a little bit there from Delta as they hit him. It looked like he was hit out of bounds.
So now we wait for the call on the field with 7:19 to go here in the third quarter.
And so that's going to be a personal foul on Delta, so that will add 15 yards to the end of the run.
So if you're Delta, I know these are young men, but you've got to keep your emotions, kind of keep them intact a little bit here.
I mean, you understand the frustration at this point right now. You're down 28-0. Haven't had a whole lot of things go your way tonight, and so now it's just a matter of just keeping your poise right now. But still, they're setting up Mount Vernon now in some really good position here.
1st and 10 from Delta's 33. Sluniker to LaBelle. A nice defense there by Delta, not letting LaBelle get anything.
And so again, keeping that pressure up the middle. They're going to try and get the pressure on the quarterback no matter what, even if it turns into some run defense. Either way, you got to keep at least that pressure going here, but then you hope the offense rewards you once you get the ball back.
Ronnie Foster, the lone receivers to the right side. They go trip receivers to the left. Sluniker in the shotgun, takes it, hands off. No, Sluniker keeps it himself.
And I believe Sluniker made a last-minute decision to keep that ball himself because you saw Delta coming on the blitz, and rightfully so. It was well executed, but, man, Sluniker had the presence of mind to just keep that ball himself and trying to get something out of nothing there on a broken play because it looked like even Keegan LaBelle was a little surprised on that one.
Evan Conley came in and had LaBelle wrapped up, and then he realized you don't have the football.
It was going to be a big tackle for loss.
3rd down and 6 now for the Marauders. Cozell goes in motion from the left to the right side. High snap. Sluniker going to keep it himself. And he's not going to pick up the first down. It'll bring up a fourth down now for the Marauders.
And so 4th down and 1. It'll be an interesting decision what we'll see from Coach Kirshner here. You have a field goal kicker who's able to do it here, but it looks like they're probably going to go for it on 4th down and 1.
And they're putting Cole in the backfield with Sluniker this time.
And we've seen Cole in the backfield a couple times here tonight. It's mostly been on a pitch play. We'll see if they run that again.
He's in the pistol formation this time. Takes a snap, hands off to Cole, and Cole's going to pick up a Mount Vernon first down.
And Cole doing a good fullback impression there as he just powers right up the middle, gets the first down yardage, and that's all you need from that play.
You look at Ryland Cole, he's a senior, 6'1", 190. So first down from the Delta 20-yard line, 5:20 to go here in the third quarter.
And a hard count right there. They almost drew an offsides there from the defense.
Two receivers to the right side. Breidenthal, the lone receiver to the left. Throws it to Gentry. Gentry catches it, and Gentry gets in to the end zone for a Mount Vernon touchdown.
So it counts this time for a Gentry right here, as we'll take a look at the replay soon here. But it was just great execution. You have the receivers on the outside draw off the defenders right there along here, as we see here. You got Gentry here in the slot, and Kozoil just drawing off the good defenders, and just well executed play out there on the out route, and then Gentry was able to do the rest there.
And A.J. Swingle comes in for the extra point try at the 5-minute mark in the third quarter. Ready for the snap. Sluniker the holder. Ball's down, kicks in the air, and it is good. So with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, the score, Mount Vernon 35, Delta 0. You're watching IHSAA Football, powered by Indiana SRN.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Back to Delta High School, Bill Ludlow, my colleague Kurt Darling, Ben Wood, our producer tonight, Otto, the cameraman, all doing a fine job here. High kick. It's going to come down to number 87, and that's Burkham, and he just caught it, went to the ground.
And so, yeah, you just pooch it right now there to keep the ball in play, and the clock taking off a little bit extra time as well. Of course, now we're at that 35-point threshold. It's a 35-0 ball game, which means we are at a running clock from here on out. Regardless, as long as the ball is in play, the clock will continue to run by rule.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles from their own 38-yard line. Hunt goes under center. Puts a man in motion. And then he hands off right to Belenji, and Belenji got a nice run and finally brought down by Ryland Cole.
And good option play right there on the quick handoff. You saw number 2 there going in motion there for the Eagles, and taking a look at there, that was Abram's Stitt there. You don't see a whole lot of him, but when you do see him, though, he can be deadly even though he goes on the outside.
And they hand off to Whitfield. Whitfield trying to cut it outside to the left and brought down by Nate Weaver.
And so now you're going to see a sense of urgency here if you're Delta. But still, going back to that previous play, though, you had Stint going out, and then that was just a good execution play going right up the middle there by Belangi, and now gets him in this situation here. But still, now you got a lot of urgency here. You got the running clock to deal with, and now if you're Delta, you've really got to put the pedal to the metal.
It's going to be 2nd down and 10. Stick goes in motion. They pitch back to him, and he got a nice hole and picks up a Delta first down.
That time they go to sit on the same formation setup. It's just that time they just put the handball in the hands of the different player. Well executed going to the outside, because that time you have Mount Vernon favoring down the middle, but now we have a flag on the play, and it looks like it's going to come back.
So that run by Stitt is coming back. And, you know, Delta shooting themselves in the foot. You get something good going, and then you got a penalty.
And sometimes that's the nature of the beast this game. Sometimes you get that momentum going, and then you just get a costly penalty at the worst possible time, and it ends up costing you.
Second down and 21. They hand off to Whitfield, it looks like.
No, it's going to be
Belenji.
So that's Belenji. And, yeah, they try that option run again. Then they go back to Belenji that time. But right there on the call was going to be 67, Dawson Anderson, the sophomore. He was right there. He read it perfectly and was able to get a big tackle.
So it'll be third down and 23 now for Delta, as we're about to go under 2 minutes here in the third quarter. Two receivers to the right side. Hunt goes back to pass, flushed out of the pocket, being chased. And I believe that's Cole Herman, one of them.
You got Cole Herman in there, as well as Sam McCall in on the tackle as well. So that'll go down as a half sack for each of them, and now it's another long fourth down.
Fourth down and, well, a country mile. How's that?
We'll call it 36 yards.
A minute 20 to go in the third quarter. Cole and Gentry back to take this punt from Brady Hunt. Snap. Kick, and it goes out of bounds probably at about, well, let's see where he's going to go. About the, well, now he's moving up.
It'll be about the 45, 46-yard line. So about as good as you could expect, could ask for right there, and it goes out of bounds. But still now, it's just a matter of, if you're Mount Vernon, it's a matter of now just, taking it to the end here. You don't need to keep pressing on and pressing forward here, even though you're up 35-0. Looks like they're going to keep their starters in here to at least get some reps here. But still, you got the running clock. They'll probably take this here to the end of the fourth quarter.
Going to be Ryland Cole in the backfield with Sluniker. Sluniker is in the pistol formation. He puts Burheen in motion from the left to the right. Pitches back to Cole. Cole cuts it back upside into the middle.
And so with that, we'll take it to the fourth quarter.
So you're watching IHSAA Football, powered by Indiana SRN.
Hello, my name is Sean Kroll, and I've been a part of the Indiana SRN family for the last 9 years. Last year, we streamed a record 326 sporting events around Central Indiana. All the other guys broadcast basketball and football, but we at Indiana SRN also air volleyball, softball, baseball, and even golf. But we need your help. To continue our mission, please help us by contacting Coach at indianasrn.org. Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
Welcome back to Delta High School. Bill Ludlow, my colleague Kurt Darling. 12 minutes to go in this one. And Mount Vernon with a 35-0 lead. And they have the ball, second down at about 9 from their own 47-yard line. Sluniker takes a snap, hands off to number 21, and that is Ashton Julian. But we got a flag on the play.
So there'll probably be a hold here coming back. So, hey, Mount Vernon does it too.
Oh, my. Boy, those washing machines are going to be busy because all that laundry on the field tonight.
No kidding. Quick score update here for you. You've got New Palestine on top of Pendleton Heights 6-3 in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
So
Jed Richmond's got the Pendleton Heights Arabians playing some football.
So you've got that going for you right now, and of course, if you're that's great news if you're Mount Vernon, because if that holds true, that'll give Pendleton Heights their first loss of the season, which now, if things go the way that things keep going the way they are here, Mount Vernon will have the outright lead in the conference standings. As now flags.
They got the man to jump. It'll be offsides on Delta. And I believe the guilty party, Grant Williams, maybe number 54. So the clock continues to tick. 10:35 to go here in the ball game. Sluniker takes it. Julian with the carry.
And now we got another flag.
All right.
So you're going to see.
And it's going to be a hole against Mount Vernon.
So going back and forth here, exchanging penalties. So now you're going to be seeing a lot of the second team guys coming in here. Ashton Julian, he's only a sophomore, only 5'6", 160 pounds. So he's got still a little bit of growing to do yet, but still, it's good in this situation. You get these guys in here getting some valuable varsity reps here to try and keep building towards what you're going to have after this class moves forward, and just a matter of just taking it to the end here if you're Mount Vernon and just keep running the ball.
Second down and 24 now. We'll call it a country mile for Mount Vernon. 9:40 to go in the ball game. Sluniker wants to pass. Can't find anybody, so he'll just keep it himself. And we finally get a play run with no penalty flags.
And so
Grant Williams was on the tackle.
And so just keeping with it right now, if you're Mount Vernon, you're looking ahead now to a schedule of Newcastle, Pendleton Heights, Greenfield Central, and then closing it out. Or actually, no, that's Delta's schedule. For Mount Vernon, you're looking at
Pendleton
Heights next week, and then Newcastle. So going into that game, you're going to want to protect your lead.
So it'll be third down and 18 now for the Marauders. Sluniker going to keep it himself. And he's going to be close to a first down.
That's actually Eli Breidenthal taking the direct snap.
Breidenthal in at quarterback now.
So they ran a little bit of a wildcat formation there, and you'll see some new stuff here in this situation if you're Coach Mike Kirshner, and they don't get back to the yard to gain, so you'll see a punt here from Mount Vernon.
Breidenthal is the backup quarterback to Sluniker. Breidenthal wears number 9. He's 6'2", 170, a sophomore.
And so he'll definitely be building his repertoire up, too, even though you're going to have another year of Sluniker under your belt here if you're Coach Mike Kirshner.
Joe Ratliff, high kick, takes a bounce, picked up by Cody Howard. Howard gets it up close to the 20-yard line.
Cody Howard on the return.
So it'll be 1st and 10 now for Delta. 7:50 to go in the ball game.
And the clock continues to tick here.
And it'll be at their own 18-yard line. Let's see what Coach Overholt, see if he can get some positives here with this team.
And, of course, you're going to be seeing a lot of Brady Hunt, especially in this area of Indiana, as they power forward there for a quick game. But Brady Hunt, he's one of those players. He's going to have a bright future going into college. He's committed to He's committed to Ball State, which is right just south here of where Delta is, just north of Muncie. So you're going to be seeing a lot of him for the rest of the season, and of course going into college.
The pitch back goes to number 10, Titus Hill, and Titus Hill's going to pick up a Delta first down.
And that's someone you really would want to see more of tonight if you're Delta. But, of course, obviously, Mount Vernon, they came ready to play. They came ready to protect against that run and that multi-purpose rushing attack that they have. And, of course, they've been able to shut down Hill all night.
And there was miscommunication, but Brady Hunt keeps it himself, stays on his feet, loses the ball, and
there's a jostle for it. It's still
and
loose.
I don't know who got it. I think Delta might have got back on it. Let's see. Nope. They're going to give it to Mount Vernon.
No official call yet here from the official. And they're going to give it to Mount Vernon.
My.
Dang.
Just when you found something good.
It almost looked like he was down.
Right. Right.
And so we don't have replay of that, but either way, it almost looked like he was down, but they call it live. And after a big scrum for the ball, it's just picked up there by Mount Vernon, and just another in a long line of just bad breaks tonight for Delta. Sometimes games just happens for you, and it's just a matter of how you keep moving forward from it. And tonight it just hasn't fallen their way all night in that regard.
And Bridenthal is in a quarterback now for Mount Vernon. Takes a snap, hands off to Julian, and he's stopped right away by Evan Conley.
And Evan Conley, man, he's hustled all night long. You got to give him props. He came into this game with 1 sack. He got another one earlier on it this evening, but he had 20 tackles. Just one of the anchors of this Delta defense, and he's been hustling all night long.
Trip receivers to the right side, one lone receiver to the left for Mount Vernon. Bridenthal is in the shotgun as we're under 5 minutes to go in the ball game. Second down, 13 for the Marauders. Puts a man in motion from the left to the right. Hands off to number 44, and that is
Tachi Anoon.
Tachi Anoon on the run.
Of course, Tachi Anoon, the 5'10" sophomore. A lot of sophomores getting some reps here. And, of course, they'll take them whenever they can get them.
So it'll be 3rd down and 8 now for the Marauders. As Kurt said, the Marauders will be on the road next week at Pendleton Heights, who the last score was trailing New Palestine 6-3. Anoon in motion from the left to the right, and they hand off to number 42, and that's Kevin
Zhao, who normally plays tight end. He's also a linebacker on the depth chart.
Brought down by Dylan Maynor on the stop for Delta. So now it's 4th down, and into punt, number 5, Joel Ratliff.
And Ratliff has had a solid night tonight. Sans that controversial play from earlier in the first half. But either way, he's had a really good night punting tonight for Mount Vernon.
Edgerton and Cody Howard back. High kick. Howard takes it, breaks a tackle. And stopped by Keegan LaBelle.
Tackled by 32, Keegan LaBelle.
So with 2:50 to go in the ball game, Delta will have it
After the conclusion of the game, please.
At their own 23-yard line.
And the clock continues to run here. And, of course, looking ahead here for Delta, you've got Newcastle and then Pendleton Heights the next 2 weeks. Of course, you're going on the road if you're Delta to a solid Newcastle game, a solid Newcastle team. Still, all conference games from here on out here, Bill, and of course, even more other guys that you're going to be seeing here in action as well.
Let's take a look as we got some time here at the top 5 in all 6 classes here. We'll do that after this play. Brady Hunt hands off to number 23, and that is John Randberger. In Class 1A, it's Lutheran, Southern Adams, Park Heritage, Adams Central, Covenant Christian. In 2A, it's Andrean, Heritage Christian, Eastside, South Vermilion, and Fort Wayne Lours. In 3A, it's Chittard, and there's a run by number 10, and that's Titus Hill. So 3A, Chittard, Fort Wayne Concordia, Mishawaka Marion, number 3, West Lafayette, number 4, Brebeuf Jesuit, number 5. And 4A, Mount Vernon, Mooresville, East Central, Northridge, and Hobart. 1st and 10 now for Delta. Pitches back to number 2, Stitt. And we got a penalty flag on the play. In 5A, you got Cathedral, Fort Wayne Dwenger, New Palestine, number 3, Fort Wayne North, number 4, Decatur Central, number 5. And 6A, you got number 1, Center Grove, number 2, North Central, Carroll, Fort Wayne, number 3, Brownsburg, number 4, and Hamilton Southeastern, number 5.
Solid teams going to be making some noise here in the state tournament here and getting ever so closer to the postseason here, Bill, as we've got 4 games remaining in the season once we're concluded here tonight.
It's going to be 1st and 19 now. 30 seconds to go. Airs it out. Got the man. Incomplete.
And that was right in the breadbasket there. It looked like Manor just pulled his hands out a little bit, trying to just anticipate catching that ball there, and just a little bit long. So clock winding down here, and this one's pretty much over here, Bill.
You can put this one in the books, as they say, you know. So we got 5 seconds to go, and that's going to wind down, and that's the end of the ball game. Here at Delta with your final score, Mount Vernon 35, Delta 0. You've been watching IHSAA Football powered by Indiana SRN. We'll be back for a post-game show in just a moment.
Your home and office make up a big part of your world. Sometimes trying to manage it all on your own can make you feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. And when the weight of the world is on your shoulders, you need a strong back or two to come to your rescue and haul your stress away. You need the College Hunks. Whether it's time to clear some space for new memories, to reinvent the room around you, or to simply pack up and move into a fresh new beginning, you can count on the Hunks to bear your burden so you don't have to. Let us move you today.
If you missed this game tonight, you can go back and subscribe to our YouTube page, and you can re-watch this game if you missed it tonight. So Indiana SRN, YouTube, you can re-watch it, Kurt.
Perfect match, definitely, Bill. And definitely a tough night here for Delta High School as they get taken to the woodshed here by Mount Vernon. And, of course, Mount Vernon coming off that big win over New Pal and proving here tonight that it wasn't a fluke.
Right. And, they got a high-powered offense. Again, they're averaging 42 points a game. They scored 35 tonight, but they've got another tough test next week against Pendleton Heights.
And, of course, they'll if the game at New Pal still holds true right now. New Pal was leading Pendleton Heights 6-3 in the fourth quarter there. But either way, now it's just a matter, and then the score still holds true there right now. But bottom line is this: you want to protect that lead going into Pendleton Heights now, as you've taken the lead outright if that result holds true. But still, back to this game here. One more thing before we get off here. It's like we want to give one more shout out to the officials here tonight.
Exactly.
They did an excellent job, even though gave them a little bit of grief in the first half there from that punt that was truly bizarre. You don't really see a situation like that a lot, but in hindsight, they made the correct call. They looked back at the rule book and they discussed it. They took it and then they made the correct call, and the scoreboard shows it. And so once again, just want to give them just big props
kudos
there for big kudos and big props for making the correct call in the end.
So that's your final score here at Delta. Your score is Mount Vernon 35, Delta 0. That's going to wrap things up here. You've been watching IHSAA Football powered by Indiana SRN. Good night, everybody.